This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri. We're at an undisclosed location in east central Iowa, and we might have gotten something, and you're gonna see it roll out of the shop here in just a little bit. Doesn't that look so much cooler than Freightliners? On Saturday, Dad and I went to Iowa to get this Peterbilt, and I have been hard at work getting the guy's DOT numbers and name off of the side of the truck. I've been using this little heat gun and very carefully using the razor blade to my utility knife to kind of get under the old stickers, kind of lift them up. I wanted to wait to show any of this process until I got the guy's name or his full name off the truck for his operational security. Don't want to drag people into this that aren't associated with it. Something I did notice is that this truck really isn't that far from where it was originally sold to. And of course, I already added the Keep On Truckin' license plate. I just took it off of old number 1, which is going to be for sale very soon. And I noticed, you can very faintly, you may not be able to see it on the video, but you can very faintly see O'Laughlin Trucking Incorporated on the side of the doors, because this truck was originally bought new by O'Laughlin Trucking in Shelbina, which is just like 25 miles that way. So this old girl kind of made her way back home. You can kind of see it a little bit better there, O'Laughlin Incorporated. And Dan and his son-in-law were really awesome guys, and Dad and I are very thankful for their hospitality. So here's my process here for getting rid of these numbers. I'll start down here with the DOT. So I hover over it for just a couple seconds with the heat gun. I have it set on its highest setting. Usually I leave it running because I have both hands, but then I take the razor blade, kind of get under it, and very carefully peel it off. And then I've, rinse and repeat times however many little stickers I have to go. The dealer that sold this truck brand new is in St. Louis.
It is Saturday the 25th, I believe. We got a mountain of concrete, dump truck, dump wagon. Gonna try to haul this and line some ditches with it. Took some doing here. This excavator didn't want to start last couple of days. Been cold, so if I got it going yesterday afternoon, here today it's over 30 degrees already. Not even noon, so hopefully we don't get too wet and greasy, but we will see how this all goes. Kind of interested to see how the dump cart works out. Makes a lot of racket. Gonna be a rough ride driving across frozen ground, but never kept it dry enough in the fall really to get this done, so it's kind of a wintertime project. Successful first dump of a load of concrete. And that's gonna goes up fairly fast, but down pretty slow. Kind of a rough ride on this frozen ground. The tractor ride's okay, but the dump wagon ride's a little rough. But anyway, got this, the dump truck going. We'll make the pile look smaller for the end of the day.
Who said you can't work on a Sunday? Because it is Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and Dad, Grandpa, and I are all down here in the bottom. We're using the new dump cart behind the 9620RX. I'm driving the dump truck, and Grandpa's running the Hitachi 450 track hoe, loading us up. So that dump cart holds about 35 tons, plumb full. Can't hold quite that much because can't load up the back part because there's no gate on it. But the tractor, the dump cart are a pretty good match for each other. Tractor's heavy enough that it's not pushing the tractor around. That looks like a big pile of concrete, but it was a lot bigger 4 hours ago and 24 hours ago. We've been able to get some of this stuff hauled down the bay. Grandpa puts it along the edge of the field so that the water lapping at the edge of the field doesn't erode the edge of the bank. That dump cart holds about 2 more Traco buckets full of concrete and other stuff than the dump truck does. Our dump truck is a mid-90s Chevy Kodiak with the 8LL transmission. Dash that's it's missing a couple spots. We got one speaker over there that works, and it's got obviously the PTO and all that. It's kind of rough when a bunch of concrete's getting thrown in the bed. But it's not a bad dump truck. 3116 cat engine. This thing's geared pretty low, and on the highway, if you're coming up on a hill, you better be shifting down because you're not making up the hill in high gear. Of course, God bless America. Rob and myself have left our marks in this thing. And, well, everything went smooth until the very last load of the evening. Looks like Grandpa got one too many big chunks of, looks like corner posts in there. And I don't know if I'm going to live here someday, but if I'm going to live down here, that dog needs to be less loud. Coming back from Wheelers, and that looks like a very, very rough ride. I'm moving the dump cart back down here to the bottom where we're going to park it at. It was kind of dirty after we got done using it there last week, so took it back to the shop, got it washed off, and now we're taking it back to the bottom. And Jaden's coming down the road right in here, and he's got the conveyor behind him, which we're using to load out trucks out of a small bin north of town. Taking that down here to park in the shed as well. We're finally snow-free, which is good. And Dad is right, you really can't see a whole lot behind this thing. It almost needs a camera, or better yet, just a second guy to help you park it. Jaden and I got the conveyor and the dump wagon tucked away nicely in this little shed. This is what I've been working on for the last couple of hours. So we established what the problem was, why I was losing power and making a bunch of black smoke and getting a bunch of exhaust that I shouldn't have been getting. It's because the gasket between the turbo and the manifold was very, very gone. And now I've got to figure out how to get the turbo mounted back up on the manifold, because the stock configuration from Deere for the 531T, like this one, is studs that go up and hold the turbo on. Well, due to them being very toasty, I can't use that anymore. Instead, I am opting to drill these out to 7/16, and I threaded the exhaust manifold for 7/16 coarse thread bolts, which I think is going to work okay, because, so here we are. And I took a file and I tried to shave off a little of the unevenness that exists here. This hole is kind of crooked, but that's okay. And the whole manifold itself is kind of toasty, and there's a crack right there. But I'm just gonna ignore that, pretend I didn't see that. So if I have to tear this apart, you guys saw it here first. But getting this manifold off is gonna be a big challenge because everything here just looks really toasty, and I didn't want to chance breaking a bunch of stuff off and then having to pull the head and all the whole can of worms that entails. But I think that we're getting pretty close to a solution. I was advised to double gasket the turbo and move on with life. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Today I finished up the cab with new door and window seals. Got a full cab kit in here. This is my finest work yet. There's sound deadening behind every panel. Couldn't quite get anything up there behind the ROPS, but I fixed the third hydraulic lever, which was broken off because the valve was frozen up. But I worked it back and forth, got it loose. There's sound deadening behind all this, on this. And I'm still waiting on some shift cables because those are really, really tight and we can't be having that. The air conditioning in this tractor is probably going to have to wait because unless I found another grand to throw at a new compressor and new blower and some other stuff, there's going to be no air conditioning for this tractor. The same goes for back here. I'd really like to convert all these remotes to ISO Grove conversions, but I could throw another grand at that and, it would kind of do the same thing. I am going to be getting a new lower seat cushion because the upper one is fine, but this tractor is slowly coming together. It's about 7:30 and Farm and Home closes at 8, and I may be able to make it down there and get a new 7/16 drill bit because the one that we have here it's kind of toast. Seems like drill bits only work right a couple of times, and after that you just gotta toss them and get new ones. The 620 got washed today, and it's in the shop for an oil change and all the standard service. Oh, and before I forget, I got to show you guys this. This is awesome. So how my 4020 had the torn up seat? Well, now it does not have a torn up seat anymore because I spent a bunch of money to have the seat recovered and the padding and everything redone. So that's going to be awesome. I'm pretty excited because wow, that seat is just rocks to sit in. And these are the gaskets for the turbo. And I also got another 7020 technical manual because I needed to have 2 of them. And we have the service shop copy of the operator's manual for 7020. So I try to hoard this information whenever I can find it. And as you could probably guess by the little thing I put earlier in this video, our longtime employee and family friend Rob Frankenbach has passed away from natural causes. He 2 weeks ago, Monday, he was here in the shop, and I said, "All right, see you tomorrow, Rob." And he said, "See ya," in his usual Rob voice of enthusiasm. And Tuesday morning, he didn't show up for work, and none of us really thought anything of it. It's not unlike him to do that. And I texted him at like noon on Tuesday, and never heard anything back. And he was found at his home, and but he did pass away, and it's very, very unfortunate because Rob was really a great guy, and I really enjoyed having him around. He was like a cool uncle that wasn't my uncle, that would give me sometimes good advice and sometimes some terrible advice. Specifically with working on older iron, Rob was a wealth of knowledge for working on things as well as making things and local history, and we really miss him. And I hope he's in a better place now, and I hope his family is doing well. I think they're doing as well as they can anyway. But we're really going to miss Rob. It really hurts me to say that we will not be seeing the smiling face and in really dirty neon yellow sweatshirt of Rob Frankenbach around anymore. But I've been, I guess, automatically promoted to senior chief mechanic. And I'm not sure if I like that promotion or not, but we're going to figure it out and keep moving forward. That's what he would want us to do. And now that I've rambled on for long enough, I think that this is a fine place to end the video. So if you enjoyed it, keep on coming back. And I apologize for not getting this video out to you all sooner. This project wasn't going very well for a couple of days, so I neglected to video anything because I was in a poor mood. But I'm in a much better mood now, and I hope that I see you all on the next one. So take care, and give your loved ones a hug tonight, because you may not get to do it tomorrow. With that, Chase Goldinger, out. Peace. All right, good news and bad news. Got 3 of the 4 holes to play nice and line up. Everything's perfect. The 4th hole, just not going to be quite that easy. I got the threads cut, and I could tell something was wrong. They were cut in there cockeyed, and in order to get it, I tried to put it together, but it just wouldn't quite go together. In order to get it straight again, I had to drill it out to 1/2 inch, and there's just not quite enough material on this turbo flange to drill this one out to 1/2 inch as well to make everything do its thing. So I'm hoping to helicoil that thing or the hole tomorrow and get it back down to the right size. But I don't know if we're going to get it or not. I really don't want to, but may have to get a new manifold half or a different manifold half anyway, one that's hasn't been goobered up by yours truly.